So, this trailer showed up, and I should have expected something like this to come out. I was more of expecting it to come out later this month, but still. And that is the trailer for Agatha All Along, the upcoming MCU show that will be the sequel to WandaVision, as well as another chapter in the MCU storyline. So, this story, this is one I've been really interested in. I've been really fascinated, and also going back to to when they announced what the real the real title name was. I love how they basically trolled everyone with all the fake titles, like Agatha Coven of Chaos or Agatha Heart of Harkness and things like that. They were just basically trolling us every title change. Then again, I also believe that was also, they couldn't think of a fucking title and just went, fuck it, let's just call it, Agatha All Along, and just say that, that was the intention the whole time, was to troll everyone. Lol. I would not be shocked if that was the case, too. So Agatha All Along is, like I said, the sequel to WandaVision, which I really enjoyed, and I have been looking forward to this. It starts out like a crime drama, and then it cuts, and you're like, what the hell's going on? And then it cuts to Aubrey Plaza's character, who I have forgotten the name of, basically saying, this is what you see yourself as, wake up and claw your way out of Wanda's spell. So Agatha's whole thing is that she's lost her magic, after being debilitated by Wanda, and is now being basically forced to fight her way free of Wanda's magic, but also getting her own little coven together, whom she's probably going to betray at some point in the series. So far, the show has a lot of potential. I'm not gonna lie. The show has some serious potential behind it. I really like the horror vibe they're going with. I really like that this one does feel like a horror show. And I also like that this is going to delve more into the magic side of the MCU that we haven't seen, even with Doctor Strange. We haven't really gone that deep into the magic side of the MCU that often. I mean, really, the furthest we've gotten was some stuff in WandaVision, some stuff in Doctor Strange a few times, and that's about really it. Honestly, it really has been just kind of just scratching the surface here and there. I imagine this will be a deeper look. I also like that this show has the feeling of, and maybe because Aubrey Plaza's there, it just made my brain made the connection. But personally, did anyone else get a feeling of Legion? Watch this. Funny enough, another Marvel show. Did anyone get a feeling of seeing of the feel of Legion again? Like the X-Men show Legion. Did anyone have that feeling? Because that was my first thought. And again, maybe because Aubrey Plaza's there, who's playing a character who's trying to egg on Agatha to taking this thing called the Witch's Road, which is probably full of references and monsters that we know from Marvel history. Also, let's start with all the fan theories that Aubrey Plaza is really Mephisto. Let's start with those. I already saw them in the comments for the trailer. When the trailer first dropped, everyone's like, oh, she's totally Mephisto. Which, again, she could. I'm not saying she isn't. They said she's like an original character, and I'm like, so there's a good chance she's not an original character and is a totally different character, right? We're doing that game. I feel like we're doing that game. Again, she could be a totally new character that they introduce into the comics at some point. But at the same time, I'm also just kind of sitting here there's a good chance she might be somebody, whether it be Blackheart or Dormammu or the Enchantress or Mephisto. There's a good shot that we are probably going to get a major Marvel villain in this show. I do believe that, regardless if it's Aubrey Plaza, who, again, it makes that connection going back to Legion, where it turned out that she was just a face for the Shadow King the whole time. Which, again, that was a great reveal of, oh, it's a dude, and it's the fucking Shadow King. So, I really liked that. I really liked that reveal, and again, making that connection again, maybe because it's Aubrey Plaza playing a nefarious character, I just make that connection again. And I fully acknowledge that I could be wrong. I could be 100% totally wrong in that regard. I don't know. I haven't really kept up with the casting of these characters, and they've been very secretive about it too. So these could be lesser-known magic characters showing up. I know one of them. Someone said that one of them is supposed to be from Strange Academy, the descendant of Marie Laveau. I do remember hearing that one of the characters is playing a character who is in Marvel Comics, who was recently introduced in Marvel Comics through Strange Academy, who is the descendant of Marie Laveau. So I imagine that character is going to show up, and it does make me wonder as to who else could appear in this series. Whether we get, like, again, Dormammu, or... Dormammu would make the most sense. Even more than Mephisto, when you think about it. Because Agatha has always had some major dealings with Dormammu throughout her life. Like, she's always had encounters with Dormammu more. And I feel like the MCU has kind of, like, drifted away from the threat of Dormammu. Yeah, he's still there. Like, he's just in another... He's still in the Dark Dimension. Strange didn't defeat him. He didn't kill him when he beat him in Baron Mordo in the first Doctor Strange movie. He's still there. And yes, we do have Clea now. But at the same time, I'm just kind of like, yeah, I think we should go back and kind of focus on the dangers that Dormammu is capable of. I feel like we haven't really gone there in a while, so maybe focus on Dormammu again. But I have a feeling this will probably be the intro to Mephisto, because we do know he is the big villain for Ironheart, which is kind of on one hand, I'm like, let me just sidebar into that real quick. I will say that, like, I think the idea of Mephisto battling Ironheart is a cool idea because it's science versus magic. But at the same time, I'm just like, Mephisto should be saved for, like, I feel like, while I think Ironheart's cool, and it is, like, they're basically, like, building up to her being in the Armor Wars, which I hope that thing is, because they're saying it's a movie, it's back to being a show. No, it's a movie. I just want Armor Wars, one of the most definitive, like the definitive Iron Man story, which in here is not going to have Iron Man, like, happen. I don't know. I'm getting off topic, but still, I kind of feel like we should save Mephisto for something else. And who knows, like, I don't know. Hopefully they won't kill him off in Ironheart, but still. Getting off topic. But I do have a feeling we're going to get the introduction to another major villain in this show. Whether it be for the MCU or for, the MCU TV shows. I have this sneaking suspicion that that Agatha all along will be the big introduction to a new major villain. At least that's just how I feel. I will also say that while the trailer looks really good, I now am have a lot more trepidation towards shows, especially when they give that horror vibe from Disney, because after The Acolyte, and I really liked the horror vibe they were going with in Star Wars The Acolyte trailer, and if you haven't already known, I have been doing episode reviews of The Acolyte on my Patreon channel, and it's been a slog. It's been a fucking slog to get through. And not for the reasons like, oh, it's, it's woke and whatnot. No, the writing has just been bad. It's just been a god-awful show that has done nothing. It's just been it's been so far 6 episodes, like 4 episodes, that have premiered so far, that really feel like nothing. The first 2, there was a story set up, and they were meant to be slow, so I forgive it. It also had a really good fight scene. But at the same time, a majority of these episodes have been a goddamn slog to get through, especially the last episode. The latest episode was a goddamn slog, especially after it looked like in episode 5 that we were, finally picking up and getting shit done. And then it goes into park again. So I imagine they're going to do a mad rush to tell everything in one episode, or finish it, or keep slogging it through episode 7 and then mad rush to finish everything in episode 8. It just feels like a lot of Acolyte feels like wasted potential to me. That's my thing. That's why I don't personally like it. And again, at the same time, pun intended, devil's advocate here, we don't know what Agatha Agatha All Along will give us. Will it be a good show? I am always optimistic about the MCU. I've always been optimistic no matter what. The only Marvel movie I've really come to hate is Thor: Love and Thunder. The Marvels I watched, I was like, it's all right. I didn't had vehement hate for the Marvels. Did I think it was weak? Yeah, it was pretty weak, but not like god awful. But MCU shows have also been kind of a bad taste in my mouth for several of them, especially Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion's probably been the worst for a multitude of reasons. I haven't really enjoyed Marvel What If, and it's probably more of an animation thing, but also the episodes have just varied so much that it's annoying to me. That's just a me thing, though. But again, with the creative team behind WandaVision coming back for this show, and the show itself, I think Agatha can really carry it as a character. I do have a lot of faith in this, but again, I have some trepidation. So I am hoping for the best, expecting the worst. That's how I go through life, and I'm sure a lot of you guys do too. So you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think? What did you guys think of the trailer for Agatha All Along? Did you guys like it, hate it? Comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.